Well, they blew up all the chickens in Bonanza last night. Now they burned down the jobs board too. Down at the showdown, they're getting ready for a fight. Gonna see what them merchant boys can do. Now there's trouble busting in from CBS, and Jonathan Cars can't get no relief. Gonna be a rumble by the microwave, and the town council's hanging on by the skin of their teeth. Well, now everyone cries, baby, that's a fact. But everyone that cries chugs their root beer back. Put your gold star on, get your bandana pretty, and meet me at Kid Nation in Bonanza City.
Howdy, y'all.
Yippee-ki-yay, mother trucker.
Mother truckers. This is Kid Nation. I'm Pablo.
I'm Stevie, the only Kid Nation. And for us, again, it's the only Kid Nation.
It's the only Kid Nation podcast.
Really. And we've already beat the other guys, so yay.
It's the only mention of Kid Nation anywhere on the internet, too.
It's true. We're here. I mean, if you're already 4 eps deep, or maybe you just skip to this one because this one is the most controversial episode probably of all time.
Even though in last week's episode, the kids almost died from weather-related...
Well, that's not really rare in Kid Nation. I know, okay, spoiler alert, I know that one kid drinks bleach, but I don't know if that's ever on camera.
Like, really? Oh, was that from like a Reddit or something?
That was from a Reddit. Like a mom sued because a kid drank bleach and... got fucked up from drinking bleach.
Why was there just bleach hanging around?
I don't know. It's probably near the industrial package of beans nearby and like the tent. But we're unpacking Kid Nation, one of the most forgotten but important reality TV show of the aughts.
Yeah, when you think of peak TV, it kind of started with Kid Nation.
Yeah, and
prestige TV. You know what? No, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. We're in a golden age of television. No one's has really thought of that before, and it all started with Kid Nation.
I do think we are in a reality TV resurgence right now. Like, I do think there actually is like a lot of good reality television.
Yes.
As you know, we are 90 Day Fiancé heads over here, but we're not gonna be those people that add another 90 Day Fiancé podcast into this universe. There's like literally too many, and everyone's opinions are wrong. So
also, I mean, I love 90 Day Fiancé, but I spent a lot of time like
watching it,
or no, staring at my phone and being like, I hate this couple and this couple. Oh, I like this couple. This one's couple is boring.
I think that's true. Like the episodes are so long, then to record maybe up to an hour of talking about it. I already invest so much time watching it. There's so much content to see of it, and once a season ends, a new season begins. So you're just never you're always chasing the dragon when it comes to 90 days. So like,
well, that's what's great about Kid Nation, which is the freaks and geeks of reality TV.
Ooh, but I will say where maybe 90 Day and Kid Nation coexist is I think that their best space of finding out more information is Reddit. I'm not even a Reddit person. I think Reddit is scary and full of murders.
Yes,
but it's great for 90 Day because I feel like there's people that are like, actually, I did grow up in this town with that person. And they always have like the inside gossip, which is what I'm looking for when it comes to reality TV show freakyloids.
Yes.
But this episode's all about like basically mainly Christianity, but God in general.
Yeah, I mean, this is the episode where the kids are basically told by the journal to feed feed your soul. You know, this episode is all about bringing religion to the town of Bonanza City, much like many Western towns of yore.
Yeah. It starts off pretty strong. It is day 11, by the way. So episode 4 is like, we're here, we're in it. We're just knee deep in fucking Bonanza. And it starts off with Sophia and Morgan are just taking a stroll. And Morgan's like, do you think there's a reason why we're like here on Earth? And like Sophia's like, no.
I got casted at a mall in Boston or something.
Oh my God. Just so you know. Okay. And I don't even care about this, but from a reality casting background that I have, casting people are really snobs about what do you think the past tense of cast is?
God, let me use it in a sentence.
You just did. Sophia got
casted. I guess I would say casted, but actually, I think cast is correct.
That is correct.
For past tense.
Casting people are snobs. If you say, I was casted on this show, they're like, I hate you, Madge. It's like very like if someone's autocorrect does the wrong there and someone's like, wow, I can't exist in a world where people are this dumb. I don't give a shit. It makes like casted, who cares? But this is just a fun tidbit to show you what people get really excited about.
Okay. Well, I'll make sure to purposely say that to piss off your coworkers.
Please do. Honestly, they need a good shakeup. Anywho.
But yeah, so Sophia and Morgan are talking about religion.
Right off the bat.
Morgan, as like 11-year-old girls do. And Morgan is a Christian. And
she's spiritual. I think she's spiritual. And she doesn't really like say like, I'm a heart. Because like the Christians say it later on, and we'll get there.
And they're like Pentecostal and evangelical.
Sophia's I feel like, or Morgan and Sophia are also very same vibe to me in a lot of ways. They're very mature. They're the green team. They're always taking care of the kitchen. Like and to see them kind of having this like intelligent stroll, I'm like, that makes sense. They seem like they'd be like good little buddies. Sophia's like, I'm an atheist, but Jewish background girl. Classic.
I can relate.
Classic Pablo over here. Okay, first, before maybe we dive into the kids, what was your religious upbringing and how did it affect you and why?
Well, as you know, my loving girlfriend, I was born.
Oh yeah, I also peek behind the curtain. We fuck.
yeah. So we're, I was raised Jewish. My mom is Jewish. My dad is an atheist, but his family was like very Catholic Mexican. I was raised Jewish. Went to Hebrew school, had a bar mitzvah, did all that stuff, and I consider myself an atheist, but definitely
even during the Jewish.
Oh yeah, no. I
when did you know you were an atheist?
I must have been either 7 or 8, and was just like, wait, God doesn't make sense in like a total like logistical sense, where my mom would be like, he's everywhere, and it's like, but what? Like, like now I can kind of wrap my head around that concept, but I still think it's like not. It's all BS. Man, I'm a regular Bill Maher over here.
Oh my God. Calm your ass down. Also, like, as we can, like, racially stereotype, you have your mom's last name. So, like, just for, like, breaking down, like, the way you raised by, like, basically single-ish, Jewish-ish mom.
Yeah. And my mom, but although, fun fact, I was baptized.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm kind of covered if.
That's so weird.
Yeah, it's super weird.
Did you know you were getting baptized by your nanny or whatever it was?
Well, I think I was baptized twice. Once by nanny and then once by my grandma.
By the grace of God.
But I think my mom wasn't especially religious at the time.
Yeah.
And so she I think she just kind of took it in good nature. And then later on, I think she might have been a little bit more mad, but just kind of chilling.
Yeah. Cute.
And you were a good Catholic girl.
Oh my God. I know. This is like a rom-com happening. Not even waiting to happen.
It's actually Catholic and an atheist Jew.
What could go wrong? All bonded by the love of watching pioneer children bust their hides and come to Jesus. I went to Catholic school most of my young life. I think like preschool through 8th grade. I went to a public high school. I had to. I was asked what I'd like to do, and I was like, you guys seen that I'm not interested in any of this at all. My grandparents still attribute like me being like smart, cute, and funny to like Catholicism and Catholic school upbringing. Technically confirmed, but I was really the bad girl of Catholic school. I would like wear winged eyeliner. I'd wear like all the like raver bracelet. I always try to like differentiate myself from the school uniform. And also being a kid of divorce, my parents aren't religious at all. I don't even think my dad has a faith. I think he just thinks church is like a place where people like meet dates, like old fashioned, like very old fashioned. It's like, oh, it's community and just you meet your wives there. And it's like, okay. And I think my mom has zero. I feel like she's pretty godless in general. Like I don't think of her as like a very.
Yeah,
she likes the moon. Like she like is like the moon is so pretty, and like that's like her religion is like look up at the moon and that's it. And like it's splash of astrology. So I was just like, why am I doing this? And I think my grandparents just offered to pay like for it.
Yeah, for private school.
For private school, even though like I think I was dumber from it because my brother had like some kind of like reading learning slower disabilities, like which a lot of people have growing up. He's probably dyslexic, and he ended up going to public school while I stayed in the Catholic school because they didn't have resources for people who needed to learn differently. They only taught people who were basically sheeple. Like they couldn't deal with anyone who was like more advanced or maybe even more behind, which is pretty.
Oh man,
dumb AF. So we went to different schools. I never was in school with him ever. So we were very like separate.
At least all of your classmates were awake because they're sheeple.
They were oh my god, they were sheeple. Being from the divorce kids and growing up outside of Chicago, where a lot of the Catholics are like either hardcore Italian, hardcore Irish, or hardcore Polish. Like that was pretty much the trifecta. There were some kids who weren't allowed to hang out with me because my parents were divorced.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like I'd be at a sleepover and they'd be like, "Oh, I'm not supposed to be here with you." And then my mom would have to call these Italian moms and like yell at them. And then one time like a Catholic teacher told me that like unbaptized babies float in limbo. And I was like, "Well, I had a 1-day-old brother who died. I don't think he was baptized." They're like, "Yeah, that's where he's floating." And I was like, "Oh,
fuck this.
Cool." Like, and I told my mom and she cried and called the nuns and like bitched at them.
And then the nuns whacked her with a ruler.
And then she's like, "Spank me harder. Tell me about limbo. Never heard of it." And then when I got confirmed, that was also kind of a shit show of not wanting to be confirmed, asking why are we dedicating ourselves to a religion in 8th grade? That seems like a pretty harsh decision to make for like someone who hasn't like had sex or done anything yet. And they said I could like come to school on Saturdays and Sundays and learn about every other religion of the world if I didn't want to get confirmed, which is kind of what they did in Kid Nation.
That's exactly what we're doing this episode.
And so I didn't want to learn about every other religion of the world on the weekends. Yeah, so I was like, fine, I'll get confirmed. This is kind of like having a bat mitzvah. Like it was probably the most money I got, which was like a nice pair of jeans and like $200. So nowhere near what I hear bat and bar mitzvahs can bring in.
Oh yeah, no, I made bank with my bar mitzvah. I made enough money in my bar mitzvah where I was like buying weed freshman year of college with bar mitzvah money.
Oh my god! Wow.
I mean, I didn't really like spend it a lot. You know, I didn't spend a crazy amount of it, but I still had enough left over.
Wow, you're like a bad boy.
Buy some eighths on my freshman dorm.
I'd like some shake and some salvia, please.
Right. So after Sophia and Morgan's talk, we get two scenes kind of intercut. One is the town council being told by the town journal that they need to feed their soul with religion.
Right.
And then back in like the kitchen dining area.
Oh god.
There is some anti-Semitism going on, according to Mr. Jared.
Well, I don't think he said that it was happening there, but I think he said that anti-Semitic things have happened to him in his life. That it was hard for him to talk about.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I know.
He's like 6.
I know, but that's why he at first.
And he is the most Jewish person I've ever encountered.
He was saying to a group of people like,
back at my school, someone said bad things about me because I was a Jew.
Really?
Yeah, what? Really bad things. I just don't want to go into it.
So that was pretty fucking sad. And then we do get a nice little cut of Guylan, because right before like the journal and like the whole meeting in there about like what we're going to do with this whole religion attitude, we kind of get a few people's insight that we're going to see a little bit more of. We don't really see much more of Guylan. I really like Guylan, but
we should talk about Guylan for a second. I mean, Guylan is awesome. He looks like a fucking surfer dude. He kind of looks like one of like Bradley Noel's illegitimate children from Sublime. He's a total like SoCal surfer.
Yes,
bro. He's got long curly hair. He's probably like, if he's not Bradley Noel's son, he's maybe Chino Moreno from Deftones' son.
Okay,
or perhaps Fieldy from Korn.
Okay, so he's just like a new metal, ethnically ambiguous, like amazing child is what we're getting at.
Yes, and I follow Fieldy on Instagram, and him and his son seem to have a great life.
Oh, Fieldy Jr.
Fieldy from Korn, the bass player.
Yeah.
Jr.
Junior.
Fieldy Jr.
Yeah. But Guylan is like great. He's like a little cult leader, and he's there. They obviously, the producers were probably like, "What do you think about religion, Guylan?" And he was like,
"Personally, I don't want religion to be a
most large part of Bonanza City. I think that the only person in charge of your own destiny is yourself.
And I was like, hell yeah. And I felt that.
He knows what's up.
So I really enjoyed that. That was cool.
But amongst Skyland is these two separate crews, the Jew crew and then the Christian kids.
Yeah.
And they're starting to
It's really getting it's gonna get even more hate crimey than it's already been.
Yeah, like Zach, who I don't know if he's half black, half Jewish, but he's definitely Jew. He kind of looks like a Jewish Steph Curry.
Okay, I can see that. I see that look.
And he repeats something that they said about that the Christians said about Jewish kids. He flips off Colton. I mean, they're getting at it.
Why don't Jewish people celebrate Christmas?
You seriously want to answer that?
Yes. Colton, why don't you tell Eric about what you thought that the meaning of Hanukkah was?
Tell me.
He goes, there are a bunch of people living in a crappy little village, and they only had enough oil to last them a day, and it lasted 8 days. Whoop-de-doo.
Wow, I just saw that Zach, he was in the 6th Beethoven film.
The 6th Beethoven film? What year was that?
The dog.
Yeah.
It was a straight to DVD film, and it came out in 2008. So he did that right after Kid Nation.
Whoa. Or maybe filmed it around the same time.
Maybe. He was definitely trying to get his,
Get that card.
Well, he has his Jew crew card. He's definitely like the leader of the Jew crew.
You guys have too much in common because we're both Jewish. I'm Christian. Christian rule. Yeah. At the what? Jew crew. I am. Jew crew. Yeah, Jew crew.
No Christians. No.
Jew crew.
Yeah.
There's some other kid that we never really see again who he's kind of bonded with, and they've like bonded over the Jewishness. But the council leaders, after reading the journal, are like, okay, it's saying that we should have religion, so like we're gonna have this town council, as they do. And their idea was a good idea, which was like, hey guys, the journal said like let's get religious. So we were thinking of like, tonight or whatever, having a big service where everyone just comes in and prays. Like it's like being like a non-denominational church. Like, hey, whatever you believe is cool. We're all just gonna come in here and have like a moment of like prayer. And everyone, and Laurel's leading the charge. And the Christians will not have this.
No, they are like so. So Olivia, who we kind of got to know better last episode,
really lost some respect for Olivia this episode.
Her and Mallory, they are very strict Pentecostals. That's the denomination of Christianity where they speak in tongues, right?
Are they?
I believe so.
Yeah, it just gets a whole fucking mess in there. I don't even know. There's one girl. Was that David or her name's her name's like David backwards or like Divad.
Oh, I think I have her quote. She says,
"And we can't have all religions in one room and know our arguments. I know that for a fact."
Would you put Democrats and Republicans in the same room together? That's like putting Hindus and Christians in the same room.
Religion is going to cause argument, and that's a fact.
Yeah,
okay?
Yeah.
Which, you know what? I mean, look, TV is in a golden age, and also, if you ask me, religion is the cause of all wars.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, yes, it is, but also, like, what the council leaders were propositioning was, like, a very chill idea, and I'm gonna, I'm not even gonna stereotype because it's what we were presented, and maybe other people of other religions were raising more of a fuss, but all of the really staunch Christians kept saying the same rhetoric that obviously their parents, again, we're seeing a lot of probably what these kids' parents say, which is like, when you get all these different religions in a room, it's just a mess. We start fighting and killing each other. And you're like, what? Like, where did you get this from? Like,
and also the service that they're trying to have, it's obviously not going to be a real service. There's no priests or rabbis or imams.
Yeah.
They're just going to gather around and talk about, hey, so this is Hinduism, blah, blah, blah. This is what we do in Judaism, but nobody wants any of that.
Well, and it's like the thing that like was like the most startling and made me sad for these kids and sad for the world and how we view and function with organized religions was like none of them gave a shit about this like 2 minutes ago. Yeah. Like no one thought about God until like maybe the Christians prayed to themselves and maybe people did kind of like keep their faith before their bedtime prayers, but up until this moment no one cared about interacting with each other on a religious level.
Yeah,
which I get it, the journal's there to prompt them, but it was just like that just shows, I guess, like selective outrage, you know, like, and it reminded me of like being on Twitter.
But I could totally see some of the more Christian kids, because every kid here is like homesick, even if they're not showing it.
Right.
I'm sure like a lot of the kids were like praying and being like, "Oh Lord, please save me from the twisters outside and the beans and the hand potatoes."
I mean, in like even when I was a kid in Catholic school, while I hated going to church every week or mass or whatever the fuck, also the Catholic institution like has perpetuated sexual abuse forever, so it's bad.
I've heard it's pretty not good.
I know I'm breaking news here, but it's just like I'm just saying, like, it's bad. There's steps they can take to be better people. But
first of all, they should watch The Two Popes. Great movie.
The two popes adore you.
The chemistry between those two, amazing.
I went to the park today without you. I know, like, doing stuff without your boyfriend is like really random. I went to toss out my nitro brew coffee can, really cool, and I tossed it in the garbage can, and the garbage can was tagged, and all it's tagged was the two popes.
Oh,
did you see that?
No, you know what that is? So, over the last couple of months, I've noticed that someone has been tagging.
You've seen this before.
So someone has been tagging everywhere in like Los Feliz, East Hollywood area, names of movies and quotes from like Queen songs. Like it just says like "We will rock you."
Oh,
Queen.
weird.
And at first I was like, is this someone doing it kind of ironically?
Right.
But now I'm kind of like, maybe some like mentally ill person's just going around tagging like Parasite on walls. I've seen this everywhere. I've seen this in bathrooms, on like LA Weekly newsstands and shit.
Okay, because I thought it was like very funny, but I was like, what are the odds? When we love the two popes.
It's probably just someone being a little cheeky.
Just being like a little current.
Do we know if Ricky Gervais moved into Thai-town?
Is he a tagger?
No, but he's a very cheeky bastard.
Also, like, that just reminds me, and I know it's really cool to mention like funny tweets that you've created yourself, but one of my favorite tweets was myself. If you search me at I guess we never say our handles, do we? You could follow us. I'm sure we're tagged up.
I'm at Pablo Goldstein.
Yeah, you're straightforward. I'm at spaghetti_witch because my name's too common, and also I'm committed to the bit. But one of my favorite, if you search my name and then like, I think it's like, if you search the word grandma and Catholic, it should definitely come up. But it's like when my grandma says I'm like so great because I went to Catholic school, and then it's that picture of Ricky Gervais with his microphone stand as like the crucifix. He's all bloody and fucking shirtless and jeans. I'm sorry, men shirtless while still wearing denim. I hate it. I hate it so much.
The only good person to ever do that is that one Vine where that guy is
that's your guy.
What does he say? He's like bottle of
it's like Zola or no Adderall,
whiskey and Lee Wrangler jeans and like a hot shower.
Oh my God, I love that guy. Where's he at nowadays?
10 milligrams of Xanax.
Shower time. Add a glass of whiskey. Adderall, a glass of whiskey, and Diesel G.
Anyways.
Also, we forgot to mention that during this like heated Jew crew Christianity debate, Colton's saying some like, he's really like pushing it and being like pretty hateful, and Zach flips him off.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty shocking that Colton, the cowboy wearing country kid, saying racist, anti-Semitic things.
Yeah, so that was like pretty fucked up, and like the Christians are really going. It's pretty scary to watch, honestly.
It is pretty scary. So thankfully,
the shining light of this fucking episode,
Alex, the MVP, who should really win the gold star every episode.
Yes,
he decides to take a census. of all the kids in Bonanza City, of all 38 kids in Bonanza City. Questions like, are you Jewish? Oh, Orthodox or Reform? And this is a 7-year-old child with a tooth the size of like an Easter Island head.
I was thinking earlier about maybe doing a survey about what religion everybody was. Okay, Kai, do you want to participate in the survey? What religion are you?
I'm Jewish.
Which kind? Orthodox or progressive?
I'm progressive.
Okay. Protestant, Catholic, or other?
Methodist.
Yeah, I really loved, there's a good quote where Alex also was like,
there's a lot of things that are central to all religions, and we could just focus on those instead of focusing on the differences.
He's just so smart. Like, he can see beyond the politics and everyone's emotional energy. And he's like, you guys, let's just like do a head count, see who's here. He's just really factual.
He wants to get away from the quote arguments and yuck stuff.
Yuck stuff.
This kid is so damn smart. He knows like the difference between Sunni and Shiite, which like Nobody in the Bush administration knew that before. They didn't even know there was differences before they invaded Iraq.
Yeah, I love that he's just like, also there's like he's like, or atheist or he's just really relishing in his work. And also obviously he's like he's put himself to what feels like good use for him.
Oh, and by the way, this year it's the census. So everybody out there listening, make sure you make your
body
known, get that congressional representation.
Wait, is it really the census?
Yeah, this summer we'll have to all do the census.
I've never done it, I don't think.
Yes, you have.
How?
You fill out the census and then you turn it in.
No, never done it.
Why didn't you fill out the census?
Is it illegal to not?
I think you're legally required to do so, but also if you don't, it fucks up like your representation in Congress.
I just don't know if I've ever gotten the form, but I'll do it this year. I'm much more like aware of everything that's going on, so I'll sensitize myself.
You weren't woke at 18. You weren't filling out the census.
Was that the last census?
No, we were both 20, I guess.
Stop aging. We're actually 17.
Yeah, I'm Alex's age.
Oh my god. Yeah, there's a really good. I don't know who says this quote, but there's I think it's some creepy Christian definitely said, because I just have it written down because it was like, I don't want to be with Jewish people or atheist people. And when it shows atheist people, it cuts to these like the kid on a pogo stick and like two other kids like laying in the fucking dust dirt. And I was like, dude, these atheists look pretty cool. They're just bouncing to the beat of their own drum.
I mean, that's what I do every day as an atheist. I just, instead of going to church on the Sabbath, I on a pogo stick.
Yeah. So then the council still has that idea they pitched that they're like, let's just have a fucking meetup tonight. Like,
yeah,
what's the big deal? Like, and the council is mad. They're like, why is everyone being such freaks?
There's like a great Gilligan Island cut. It's just like, what could possibly go wrong? And then they cut to their service and no one showed up. They threw the worst party ever. It's so embarrassing.
No one showed up. They rang the bell. I felt bad. That was sad. Because it was kind of like, what? So no one goes, but then we kind of have this like part two. It's sort of like on like Halloween or New Year's where everyone's like, where's the party? This should be the party. That sounds like a good idea. But then that one party's way too much work. Yeah. So then like the chill acquaintance is like, guys, actually low-key kickback at my house. And that was Morgan. And she has a little fireside chat kind of like religious, like low-key religious ceremony that she doesn't even really brand as a religious ceremony. She's like, she goes from cabin to cabin, is like, goes to the Christian, goes to the Jews, goes to the whatever you are, and is like, hey guys, I'm going to have a little bonfire. We're going to have like a little pray sesh. Mm-hmm. Totally no big. If you can make it, come through. And everyone's like, yeah, like I'll come. Like that sounds cool.
Yeah, and they have a nice little chat.
To be fair too, I think this is a mixture of, everyone is over the council.
Oh yeah,
I think it's a mixture of like, we just don't like the council right now. I don't know. None of them are great leaders. No one shines. Like, obviously, we've seen, like, Morgan is shining as a leader. Sophia's been shining. Mike, all these green team kids have definitely been, like, shining. Zach on the yellow team definitely shines. So there's some kids who are, like, they suck, we're better. So everyone's just not feeling their energy right now.
Speaking of Zach, the next day, the yellow team is having a seltzer fight.
Ugh, so annoying.
Is the yellow team, they're in the upper class when the episode starts, I believe.
Yes.
And even though Zach is on the yellow team, he's like, you know what? I'm going to help wash dishes. Because even though we're not cooks anymore, it doesn't matter. We got to help out.
Yeah. Zach is great. Fucking Taylor and her cronies are just sitting in the saloon, drinking their clear seltzer shots, having seltzer fight. Like everyone's just like
seltzer shots.
They're so annoying. I was a girl who's been a young girl. Like I know these girls who just get away with whatever they want, have no social responsibility.
They are very mean girls. But
they are mean girls.
I will say it's.
I guess there are children. So
whenever they're in the saloon, whether it's this Taylor being confronted by Zach, or in the previous episode where they're doing Irish car bombs, it seems to me like the producers are pushing this like adult version of alcoholism onto them.
Yeah,
where it's like, all right, we need you guys to like take shots of seltzer and be kind of leaning over the table. Like,
yeah.
Kind of like,
well, Americans don't know how to function without alcohol. We are like woven into alcoholism.
Yeah.
We don't think we're like having a good time unless we're like blackout drunk.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sipping on whiskey right now as I podcast.
And
Daddy can't pod without his bourbon.
You look. I mean, I got you those nice bourbon glasses for Hanukkah.
Yes,
and they're heavy bottom.
I love them.
Then we have the big ice cubes. We're getting closer to like a sexy kind of bar life. I'm just drinking a little sake out of an original sake glass. No big deal.
I know you.
God,
you,
we are
you
so
love
hot.
sake.
We're so hot, babe.
Yeah, it's too bad no one can see us. They can only hear our voice.
I know, but like I was thinking it'd be kind of cool to do this a video, but like video is so much more work.
Yeah.
And like nothing's shittier than a shitty video quality.
Also, there's only one good video podcast, and that's Podcast But Outside. Shout out to the Podcast But Outside boys.
Yeah, you need the visual medium on there. I think I tried to listen to it on audio, and I was like, oh, I missed the vis.
Yeah.
But maybe
Anyway, why are we talking about another podcast?
Ooh, why are you promoting this? Is not even an ad. Brought to you by Shit Yourself Tea. But yeah, also just want to backpedal just a touch. The bonfire was really cool. Also, just like the prayer service, like everyone was like really respectful. It was the opposite day of the meeting.
Yeah.
Like everyone was doing their prayers. Zach was singing in Hebrew, which I really loved for him.
Oh, was he doing some prayers?
Yeah, he was like,
could you do the prayer? Could you do the blessing, please? Stevie Anderson.
Baruch atah
Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehalichneh.
Delish. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. So we're going to get closer to showdown time. I don't know why there's a quick shot of Jared meditating, but there is because he is an old Jewish grandma, and I love him for
because
this.
like many older Jewish people, he's a Buddhist.
Yeah, he's a Buddhist.
He's found Buddhism in the late stages of his life.
So now it's showdown time, and thank God, this is the most chill showdown I think we'll ever see.
Yes. So in past episodes, we've kind of touched on how insane the showdowns are as far as logistics, as far as energy,
labor.
Yeah, and it's usually done during like a tornado or a rainstorm. This one's relatively easy.
It's just a puzzle.
Yeah, basically there's a giant cutout of a steeple, and the kids have to do a puzzle in it. And then they just have to raise it all the way to the top. It hits a bell. They have to, of course, as always, run back over the
always
line.
Running.
And yeah, it's not too hard. The blue and the reds do it easily. Yellow and green kind of takes a little while, but they finally. Yeah,
it's not like there's just some that have been like mad difficult, but they're just doing like a puzzle of a church.
Yeah, no biggie.
Yeah, and also this is a chance where we got to see blue team wise. Alex and Mallory are really good at the puzzle. These little twerps, like, absolutely love them.
Yes, I forget who says it, but someone says we won because we have little kid geniuses like Alex and Mallory, really big brains.
Yeah, and then there's the big buff guys. But so blue, spoiler alert, they did win, which was I think a moment of where they kind of touched on what Pablo just said of like, oh yeah, like we've won a lot of the physical ones because we have the big boys, but also we can win anything because we just the blue team is the most well-rounded team.
Oh, for sure.
Like they just have more going for them.
Alex is the smartest kid alive.
He's so smart. I really love him. Red is in second place, yellow is in third, and then green is in fourth. The real tragedy that everyone's freaked out about is yellow going back to the kitchen because yellow doesn't do the kitchen well at all, and they just keep getting fucking third. And it's almost better if they're just like the upper class and like out of everyone's way, which is so like Mean Girl territory, like these white privileged pageant girls.
Honestly, like 80% of the conflicts in Kid Nation, at least in the first like half of the season, is the yellow team not doing their job. Because if they gave like 50% effort, this whole Kid Nation's Bonanza City society would run so smoothly.
Yeah.
Just like the trains in Mussolini's Italy. The trains would run so smoothly, just like Taylor and cooking.
Yeah. And also every time like the yellow team isn't doing dishes or cooking, they're like straight up like chilling in sleeping bags. Like, because the town's not very big. So every time they're like, hey, there's a huge pile of dishes. Where's the yellow team? Oh, Taylor, you're all wearing oversized beanies in the sleeping bags again and just like having a daytime sleepover. Like, we're cold or we're this. We're not doing it.
Her two little lackeys.
I hate her lackeys. They all have like crusted boogers and I just like despise them. They are children.
But anyways, so
they win.
After this, we get to probably the best part of the episode.
Okay, and this is again back to like the which I never noticed until this watch is that this time, the winning does unlock the option for prizes, where before we just had prizes candid. I don't know. I guess it probably just depends on production needs, honestly. So it's not consistent in that realm. But since they won, they've unlocked 2 prizes. They can either choose between mini golf or, can you say it in your Jonathan Karsh voice?
Holy books from all the major religions, Bibles, Torahs, Qurans.
That's it, because we don't know about any other religions.
A Hindu book for Anjay.
So, guys, will it be the holy books or a hole-in-one?
Like, when that option came out, I just couldn't believe that we were doing this, that we were going there. Felt really fucked up to me. Also, mini golf is a good prize because they're bored.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah, and mini golf is so fun. And the prize was that the crew was going to install like a full 18-hole
mini golf in the middle of town. You could walk up and play mini golf whenever. I mean, their
only other form of entertainment is fucking chasing bulls.
Yeah, and drinking root beer.
And trying not to get killed by tornadoes.
So the town council, instead of going away, so Jonathan Carter's like, okay, council members, step away and make your decisions for the town. And they were like, actually, Karsh, we staying right here.
Actually, this is what democracy looks like.
No justice, no peace.
because there was such the controversy last week with the pizza. This time they're just like, you know what? Let's put it up to a vote.
Yeah. So they turn around.
Mini golf or Torahs?
In which
I should mention
they weren't raising their hands.
These aren't actually Torahs. You know,
It was just like
because a Torah is the actual scroll that you have,
right?
And this goes to show you how horrible of a Jew I am. I believe the book form is called the Tanakh, and it has like the Old Testament, but plus some other stuff.
I was gonna say like it's definitely like the Old Testament.
Yeah,
like,
it's the Old Testament.
We all know that.
But also, like if you have the Bible, New Testament, you have the Old Testament.
Well, they talk about it a little later on because they chose the fucking holy books.
Oh my god!
When you did see the live,
these kids.
When you did see the live vote, they did definitely. It was. The holy books did win. Yeah, clearly.
Well, the only reason it won was
because it was fresh on their brains.
Yeah, on their fresh little impressionable brains.
I know,
like little squishy, disgusting brains that just soak up everything Jonathan Carson, like the grip says.
Yeah, so I hated that. So now they have this fucking library of holy books. And then they cuts to them. This show, like with all of its like Bush references and the Iraq War and like kids calling home like, Mom, I worked hard and don't have TV and I won 20 grand because I'm just such a good blue collar, hardcore, middle class worker, Mom. Like the agenda pushed in the show is very American.
You know what it is? It's the dream of the 50s is alive in Bonanza.
the dream of the 50s is alive in Bonanza. Incarnation. It is the dream of the 50s that the boomers are really like holding out hope. Like, look, kids still want to read the Bible.
Yeah, like look, like all these people, all these religions came together. There wasn't a huge uptick in anti-Muslim and by proxy anti-Hindu, anti-Sikh, anyone who looks
Brown.
Muslim hate crimes after 2001 or following the Iraq War. No, we're
also like, and maybe they just didn't give airtime to this kid, like a pioneer of this background, but there was no representative of Islam in the Kid Nation group.
Yeah, no,
which I thought was kind of like, really, we're missing this one, like kind of, like, these are like, the big three religions are like Christianity, Judaism, and Islam.
I mean, they could have tried harder to casting. I mean, isn't that one city in Michigan, is it Dearborn? Which is like super Muslim American and it has, multiple generations of Iraq Americans and
it's a huge like Iranian and Persian population. So
of course, like Iran population in LA. They
could
have found
there were Muslim children in the United States of America in 2007.
Millions. But all they found was Christians, some Jews, some atheists, and like I believe Anjay's the only
this
Hindu.
Is the next part where Anjay was doing a prayer where he was like kind of lighting some smoke and like he had like a little picture and one of the girls was like, Anjay, what's Hinduism? And he was like, yeah, like it's just like this belief system and many gods. And she's like, more than one god? And he's like, 300 and something to be exact. And they had this like it was cute. Like it was like a cute little discourse. But I just thought that was like such a huge oversight. And I feel like it was very purposeful to not have a Muslim representative there.
Well, they probably just didn't give a shit. I mean,
they probably didn't give a shit.
Also they were casting this
I know. I don't care.
I'm sure they cast this like months before the producers came together and figured out what the episode arcs were going to be.
Also, to be fair, some peel behind the curtain casting information is a cast changes up until the day before you get there because people drop out, people get sick, parents die, or things happen. Like money, they actually get a part in a made for TV movie, so they can't go anymore.
Beethoven 6.
Things happen where like they might have had like a great Muslim representative, and then maybe they dropped out or maybe whatever. I don't think that was the case because also you had 40 children. You could have had at least 2 or 3, considering there's basically all Christians.
They probably reached out to Muslim parents, but they were smart enough to know, like, wait, no. CBS? No, fuck you guys. You're not taking our child.
I believe,
to the desert for 40 days.
And as I know from child casting, a high percentage of children you'll see on TV shows are homeschooled and very Christian. Like, that is like a very common, it's not just like my opinion. That's just fucking fact. So... In a different, you know what I'm about to say. Yeah. In a different turn in this episode, when I didn't think this episode could get more perfect, it does. It doubles down. Sweet Cody, he's not crying from dust anymore like he was the last time. No. He is crying because he got a letter from home from his girlfriend.
His little sweetie pie. And Cody is, what, 10?
10, I think.
Probably.
10 from Ohio. He is blubbering.
Oh, he's bawling.
He is red, crying. He just got a letter from war. Like, he is just really into it.
Yeah, he was crying like a fucking GI in the Pacific Theater who just got a letter saying like, yeah, sorry, Nathan, I'm hitching up with the man at the metal factory, at the tin can factory.
Oh my god! I just like
I'm leaving your ass.
I love this whole scene.
2 days before I came to Bonanza City, I got a letter from my girlfriend. Dear Cody, I really hope you have a great time. We really miss you. I hope you don't get homesick.
It was really good. It was really tender. He loves her, Ashley.
And the letter includes a classic like school photo
picture of her.
But then in another example of this performative adult alcoholism, the producers then have Cody go to the saloon and drink off his sorrows.
Yeah, he says, I'm going to go drink some root beer to get her off my mind.
I'm going to go to the soda saloon, drink some root beer and get it off my mind.
I mean, Cody. So this was a little bit of a tease that Cody could go home.
Yes.
Because they try to tease a kid an episode. I'm noticing.
Yes.
They're trying to make you feel like, and honestly, like the kids leaving, I don't find it that like scary. I'm like, go home. Like, I'm like, you should leave.
Yeah, like, no, this makes sense.
Also, there's a reason why, like, I wonder what the like litmus test for like complacency was, because if I was a kid in Kid Nation, I would be like, let's all go home. Like, let's end this production. Let's leave all as one after 3. Like, I would be a monster.
Solidarity.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if it wasn't for the gold star being worth $20,000, which is a lot of money.
I guess that's a reason to stay. That's a huge reason to stay.
Yeah, because if I was a kid, I would definitely not stick around. But if they told me that was an option, I could do that. There's 13 chances I can win 20,000 smackaroos.
Yeah. So then, this is, I think we kind of blended these together, but there's been so many instances where the yellow team is just like drinking and not working. So this is when Zach kind of steps it up and is like,
yes, we jumped the gun a little bit, but
whatever.
It all blends together.
He's like, my team sucks. I'm going to step out and help the huge dishes. Even though now yellow is definitely on dishes. So this makes it even worse.
Oh, I know.
Because they should be fucking helping, but they're not. So we're just getting more insight that Yellow's horrible. Yellow's like definitely like, if your favorite team, do you have a favorite team? Have we talked about this?
It's probably Blue.
Yeah, I mean, Blue's
just
the best.
Because Greg is kind of like sometimes he's great, sometimes he's awful, but he's a great character.
He's a great character.
And then, of course, Alex is amazing.
Yes. You need Blue and Red at the end of the day, because I feel like they both have a lot of like push and pull energy with each other.
Well, Red has like Jared and Guylan.
And then Yellow is just problematic. And then Green is the sweeties.
Yeah,
overall,
they're the lovable losers. They're the Cubs.
They are lovable losers. And then it snows, which is kind of cute.
But also just another example of how insane
the elements are here. Like, I can't believe they filmed. And maybe once we start talking to some of these kids, we'll get more insight. Like, they must have filmed this during like wintry springtime then.
Yeah, well,
which is weird because most shows with kids will film in the summer when they're off school.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. I wonder if they did it during winter break?
These kids either are homeschooled or they're on like block scheduling probably where they don't have like class for a month.
Because most kids have a 3-week break during Christmas, right? For winter. That's kind of like the standard.
I don't even know if they get that long. Maybe like 2 at the max.
It's either 2 or 3. Mine was weird because at the time, LA public schools didn't have enough schools. So I was on A track, which meant I got a 10-week winter break.
Oh my God. That's kind of, what did your parent, like, what do you do with your kids when it's 10 weeks? That's so long.
I mean, each year was different. Early on, they would send me to like JCC for school. And then the schools themselves provided this thing called intercession, where you just like, you just went to school and the teacher was like, all right, go on your computer and play Glider. Or Roller Coaster Tycoon.
So this snowing scene doesn't really add much. It is just obviously a very cutesy scene that the grandparents watching CBS would love because it's just playing that like Nutcracker Christmas music while the kids are like, it's like do 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 do, and they're just going out and catching snow and like just having cute little snow moments, but. Pretty pointless scene. It was really just to make grandparents watching CBS like feel like, oh look, it's like Home Alone. It's so cute. I love the Kid Nation kids.
That's exactly what I said when I saw it.
But now it's time for the fucking town hall meeting, where impeach Taylor movement is really heating up. Thank God.
Oh my God, you guys thought the impeachment of President Donald J. Trump was crazy? You haven't seen episode 4 of Kid Nation.
He like didn't get impeached, right?
No, he was impeached.
Or I mean, like, but it didn't go. It didn't take.
No. As of this day, Donald Trump is still president.
Yeah, that sucks. So
breaking news.
It just kind of quietly happened. So they ask about it at the council, like, how are we feeling about the council? And now, like, before, I feel like the last few weeks were a few people had just like discrepancies, like here and there, but now no one's happy with the council.
Yeah, and rightfully so because they're
not doing a great job. Like they're not. It's the town could be running smoother. Things could be better.
They could be playing mini golf right now.
Yeah.
Which is funny because Zach calls Taylor a little dictator.
Yeah.
Which is funny because they did say like, hey guys, let's put this up for a vote.
Yeah.
So it's like, Zach, they are kind of like a functioning representative democracy.
Yeah.
Get your head out of your ass.
Yes. So everyone's like really calling for Taylor to be impeached, and she's crying. She has her little defense up. She's crying. No one feels bad for her.
She does that weird thing where her face kind of like shudders and like she starts shaking.
Yeah, because she's caught. Like because she's been doing whatever she wants, and now people are calling her out, and she can't deal with it. As she says, deal with it. She can't deal with it.
She can't deal with it.
And then it's time for someone to leave. And I'm like pissed that this happened. But Cody leaves us, the little girlfriend crier.
Yeah.
I was surprised by it, kind of.
He had a choice between Bonanza City and his lady.
I can't believe he dipped. You're almost halfway done. I don't know. Like, you've done it 11 days. Like, keep going.
I know. Like, your girlfriend's going to think you're a little punk.
No, she'll think it's romantic that he came home. Like, that's like, you're like so dumb at that age. You're like, yay, you should quit your job and be with me. Like, no one knows. I mean, I wonder if they're still together. That's a good question.
That'd be amazing if they actually got married.
You don't know. And then we get our Gold Star winner. Drum roll, please. Morgan. Well deserved. She's great.
Pretty obvious choice.
She's like a solid town member.
I mean, this was the first episode that Greg didn't really play a big part.
I think Greg's just kind of finally being like, okay, I need to chill out on like pushing for this gold star because it's pushing people away. And I think there's still a lot more ceremonies to go. He knows, like, just hang tight.
What religion do you think was Greg?
Manual the religion of blue collar sheep workers.
The Culinary Workers Union.
I don't think he said anything about religion in this.
He's not really in this episode. I don't recall it. We watched it a few days ago, and I don't remember him really playing a part.
No, he's kind of chilled out on this. Alex really shined, and then all the Christians really came out of the woodwork on this one.
Yeah. Speaking of people shining, who's your gold star pick?
Well, I mean, and it's not even because of my that he's my son. It's just Alex, because I really enjoyed his energy this episode. I think this was his best performance. Mm-hmm. I enjoy that he did well in the challenge. His census moment was great. And I think he's just really like the smarts that really dumbass town needs. And he really keeps a very clear, unbiased focus in a town of like emotionally driven children.
Yeah.
So he's just great. I love Alex. Gold star all the way.
Same.
I hope he gets. I can't remember if he gets one in this series. I think he does, but I really hope he gets. I hope he gets it again. I love they have no memories, even though I've seen this like 500 times.
I mean, my pick for Gold Star is Alex, of course, too. I mean, he has a brain as big as his front tooth. He is adorable. I mean, earlier today I was listening to WTF interviewing with Ronan Farrow, who went to college at 11 and graduated at 15.
How does that even happen?
He's just, I mean, if you listen to the interview, he's just like an incredibly intelligent person. Like, he is so smart, and that's what I get from Alex, where it's like, there's no, like, I would be really shocked if he didn't go to college in like middle school or high school.
Oh.
He's like, Bonanza City, this is kind of like the Tower of Babel, while he's doing his census.
I'm pretty sure I've seen from the internet, and I'd like more confirmed reports that he like pretty sure like went to like something like MIT or something. Like he went to like a really good school. Yeah. He won a bunch of like geography. Like he's like learned multiple languages.
What if he just became like a dumbass and is like doing vape tricks on Instagram?
Why not both? I think you could be a smart dumb vape tricker.
Yeah. Myself.
Yeah, so that was the episode 4. Bless us and keep us safe. I mean, really, if you weren't into Kid Nation before, this is the real. I mean, I think I keep saying this after each episode, but like this one really was like, mwah.
Oh yeah,
sealed the deal.
Because they're starting to cover the producers. They're starting to cover these major themes,
these huge like tenets of life
of society.
Yes. So we'll keep rocking out in Bonanza City, and
next episode is episode 5, which I don't remember the exact contents of the episode, but it is called Viva la Revolution.
Oh, I think we've been teasing the council's going to get overthrown, and I think it's coming.
Does it happen in episode 5?
That name indicates the revolution is afoot. The revolution will not be televised, except it will on Kid Nation.
Well, maybe they just like kill the crew. Like they killed like 2 members and held them hostage until CBS acquiesced to their demands.
That would have been actually really dope.
That'd been fucking tight. Yeah.
So we'll see you next time in the Kid Nation. Giddy up, partner. Bye.